Hey guys, welcome to Bastion Time. I'm your host Bastion. This is Nintendo news, of course, but what's interesting about this week is I'm going to be conducting an experiment. It's going to be very interesting. I talked about this, of course, in the Zelda news video. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to air the Zelda news video first or this video first, so some timey-wimey stuff, what I was just talking about. But in any case, what's happening this week is it's just an experiment, so if you hate it, let me know in the comments down below, and I won't do it ever again. But what I'm going to do is just do a video, Zelda news video each day of the week, a Nintendo news video each day of the week. But these videos are only going to cover 1 or 2 stories, maybe 3 stories a piece. And the reason I'm doing this is for quite a few reasons. One of those reasons is simply to allow me to be a bit more timely with the topics of the videos. Hopefully, if something kind of interesting comes out, I can just do a video about it the very next day and put it out, or maybe even the day of, and that will be awesome. Other reasons, well, one reason is because some of the Nintendo news videos have been getting super long because I just want to talk about certain topics so much, and I don't know, as a viewer, I only prefer videos to be about between 1 and 3 minutes. If it's just like a discussion kind of thing, my attention span isn't the best. So I don't know about you guys, but I would rather just, instead of a 6 or 7 minute long video, I'd rather just look at a video and see, oh, it's only 1 to 3 minutes, I'll watch it. So that's one of the reasons, but also, if I'm only going to be talking about 1 or 2 topics, I can then talk more in depth about those topics and still keep it in the 1 to 3 minute range, which again is my own personal preference. If you don't like that, let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, let's get to this first bit of Nintendo news, which is about Rune Factory 4 being cancelled for Europe, which is awful, because the Rune Factory games are pretty gosh darn awesome. I'm not a huge fan of them, but they're beautiful, they play really well. I have friends who really likes them, and if he happens to be living in Europe, he'd be devastated right now, but yeah, for whatever reason they canceled it in Europe. Well, not for whatever reason. We know that the studio that develops them went bankrupt, but they're still able to function even though they went bankrupt, so I guess they're just going to be focusing all of their manpower on the next game that they're going to be making instead of doing a localization for Europe. Of course, a lot of you might be wondering, why can't they just take the American localization? But that's because there are word differences, and they can't just use the exact same script from the American version, unfortunately. But the big news is some pretty ridiculous rumors about both next-gen consoles, both the regular in-home console and the handheld consoles coming from Nintendo. Now, these are just rumors, and in my personal opinion, they're 100% made up. I wouldn't give these any heed at all. I wouldn't usually go into any of the details or even maybe talk about them, but they're just pretty interesting. Both things, the handheld is called DS Fusion, supposedly, and then the console is, I think, just called the Fusion, or Nintendo Fusion. But what's weird about it is, if you're going to completely invent stuff, I think you would go out of your way to be a little more absurd. Basically, the console, the home console, the Nintendo Fusion, is pretty much a super-powered Wii U. What it talks about, though, is kind of interesting, is that supposedly there'll be 2 different versions. One will have no way of inputting a disc, you will just have to buy your games 100% digitally, and then the other version does have a way to put in your regular old disc. I don't know. I won't go into all the details because there's no point. It's just fake. But it's still interesting to kind of look at and just kind of imagine. But if you want to check that out, there's a link for you down below. That's it for this episode of Nintendo News. See you guys tomorrow for some Zelda news and some Nintendo news. See you later today, I think, for some more Zelda news. See you then. Bye, guys.